one's the best? What's the second best?
There is no second best unless it's XRP, guys. In today's video, yes, surprisingly, Joshua Jake is going to be covering breaking news with XRP. You have dozens of creators right now on YouTube, on Twitter, saying within the next 24 to 48 hours, there is going to be something explosive for XRP. Is that $10? Is that $100? Is that $1,000? We're going to be covering that breaking news, what's happening with big banks, which very much look like they don't hate XRP, but they're scared of XRP. And I'll explain what I mean about that here in just a little bit. But you also have the opposite side of the crypto market, which is the political space, where Donald Trump's coming out and going completely scorched earth on Obama, Hillary Clinton, and a lot of other individuals. So there's a lot of weird things happening right now, both on a policy level as well as at a crypto level. And today we're going to be figuring out what that is, because XRP, yes, guys, you know, I told you I was right about XRP this entire time. I definitely didn't sell too early. I've never flooded it. I've never doubted it for one single second. You guys know what I'm talking about. But ultimately, one of the best performing crypto assets this entire market. In fact, I think one of the scariest charts for an XRP or for a Bitcoin maxi to look at is going to be the XRP BTC chart, which is by far one of the best crypto charts you can actually look at in this market. Look at this. This is XRP in comparison to Bitcoin. Now, on the long end of this, right? On the long end of this, some people might say, oh, that doesn't look that good, right? That's actually not that good of a price chart. Well, first and foremost, that XRP BTC chart does look like it's not only about to break out again to a new level, but when you compare this to, let's say, ADA BTC, right? Look at ADA's chart, still in the gutter. Let's say you compare this to Solana BTC. Actually, Solana BTC should be pretty beautiful. Look at that. Solana is one of the better holding projects there. But let's try Ton BTC, right? Some of your guys' favorite altcoins still either hitting new lows or ultimately just finally bottoming out while XRP has been leading that market. So why is XRP leading the market? Why were so many of us actually wrong about XRP over the last few years here? And more importantly, what is the next phase for Ripple and XRP as a whole? Because you guys know Ripple's been filing for banking license. They have gotten the SEC, the FBI, the DOJ, all of them completely back off. They've been intertwined with this new administration. And yes, guys, there is some breaking news here covering XRP. But first today, we got to cover the elephant in the room. Is Jerome Powell going to resign? This was a huge rumor that was leaking out all week long. A lot of people were hoping to see Jerome Powell step down earlier this morning. Hit this like button if you believe Jerome Powell should be fired, and comment down below if you agree with this or not. But ultimately, the Fed chair did not resign at 8:30 this morning with his speech. However, Pulte, don't know how to pronounce this guy's name really, the U.S. Director of Federal Housing, he's been coming out and saying that even though Jerome Powell hasn't resigned yet or been fired, he does believe that Powell will be stepping down in the near term. Not today, but soon. He said, we'll be resigning soon, but today is not the day. This comes out an hour ago, confirmed White House Deputy Chief of Staff James Blair, Budget Director Russell Vought, and Federal Housing Finance Agency Director Bill Pulte will be among those visiting the Federal Reserve on Thursday this week. So that is tomorrow. So day by day, we're getting a little bit closer to this. However, Jerome Powell has not resigned. I still, to be honest with you guys, like maybe I'm crazy for saying this, but I don't know. I don't actually truly believe he's going to resign. I don't know why he wouldn't just finish out till next June, unless he was facing like huge regulatory scrutiny, which might be the case because, for people that don't think Donald Trump will go after him, what the actual F, dude? A tsunami of an announcement came out, and I'll show you this clip in just a second before we get to the XRP and banking news. There's real-world asset news. We're going to talk a little bit about Chainlink, a little bit about Ondo. They're all working together now, and I know that's what everybody's here for, so make sure you stick around for all the XRP news. But Donald Trump and the administration released a tsunami here today, which was Trump is not going back. Inside the Oval Office with cameras rolling, he has now accused, Donald Trump has accused Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton of orchestrating the Russia hoax. He then said it flat out, Obama committed treason. So this is not at all something to be taken lightly. And anybody that thinks this is going to just kind of fizzle away, publicly on a live camera came out and said, we have all of the documents. And from what Tulsi told me, the national director, is that she's got thousands of additional documents coming where they're going to be attacking Barack Obama here and Hillary Clinton. And now Alex Jones, I know you guys, maybe some of you watch Alex Jones, maybe some of you don't. I want to watch this video that Donald J. Trump posted on True Social. So we're going to actually just watch this clip. This is from Donald Trump. Donald Trump posted this here earlier today on True Social. And this is just insane. Check this out.
Remember John F. Kennedy?
Do I have audio here? Let me make sure I got the audio. Let's share the screen one more time just to be sure here. Audio, there you go. Share your screen. All right, check this out.
Remember John F. Kennedy Jr.? He was declared the front runner for the New York Senate seat back in 1999. Days later, his plane crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, and his rival, Hillary Clinton, was elected senator. Mary Mahoney was a Clinton White House intern. She knew enough of the inner workings of Bill's sexual advancements to be a star witness during the Clinton impeachment trials. She was brutally executed at a Starbucks she was managing in 1997. In 1993, White House counsel Vince Foster was found dead in Fort Marcy Park near D.C. He supposedly killed himself, and among a lengthy list of potential foul play, the bullet was never found. Then there's James McDougal, a key witness for White House prosecutors. He was serving his 3-year sentence for bank fraud at the Fort Worth Federal Medical Center in Texas. And just before he was to give a testimony before the grand jury, McDougal suffered a heart attack in solitary confinement. In 2015, Walter Scheib, a White House chef hired under Bill Clinton, joined the list. His body was found at the bottom of a river, nearly 2 miles from the base of the trail he was reportedly hiking. An autopsy determined that Scheib's death was accidental drowning, but he might have known too much. 27-year-old Democratic National Committee staffer Seth Rich was shot and killed in D.C. this year. There is speculation that he was the source of the controversial leaked emails allegedly sent by DNC staffers, and that he may have been murdered in retaliation. Then Sean Lucas, the lead attorney in a fraud case against the DNC, was found lying on the bathroom floor by his girlfriend when she returned home on August 2nd.
So, yeah, I don't know about you guys, and some of you want to brush this off like it's nothing burger, but that is from Donald Trump's account. Screw what Alex Jones retweeted here. That's from Donald Trump, the president of the United States, released that about Hillary Clinton. So, whether you guys believe it or not, let me know in the comments. Do you think Obama and Clinton are corrupted? Because this is, and quite literally could be one of the biggest stories of the next decade here if they actually go full scorched earth on those previous administrations. I mean, this is not a joke at all, guys. Now, is he just brushing off the Epstein files? Is this, for other political theater? Potentially. It is very possible. But I don't think there's a single person in this chat here that doesn't believe the Clintons and the Obama administration aren't corrupted. And if you don't believe that, you are incredibly, I think, just misguided or uneducated in the fact that everything from Benghazi with Libya to even, this goes back to Bush, though, before that with Clinton, all the way back to Ukraine in the year 2000 with the decapitation of certain individuals. Now, I'm going to refrain from some key words here so we can make sure we stay monetized and happy, guys. So hit that like button if you're on X, repost this for us. But this is starting to cook. It is absolutely starting to cook. We will 100% be covering this because it could be one of the biggest stories of this entire decade here. But moving to the XRP news, okay? Moving on to the XRP news. We can do more reactions here in just a little bit. And if you don't care, some people are like, we don't care. We want crypto news. We want crypto news. We want crypto news. I mean, we're literally talking about presidents of the United States being corrupted. If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will, man. But boom! This is going from Jack the Rippler here today. The CEO of a German venture capital says that XRP could become the world's reserve currency. I don't need to play this because it's literally in German. But coming out and saying that it's better for ODL, on-demand liquidity, cross-border remittance systems, etc. And this is a precursor to the announcement today, which is actually not just yet. Ripple, you guys know this. So here's the context. So if you guys are somebody that's been in crypto, know what XRP is, but I haven't been paying attention to what they're doing for years and years and years. Everybody's been predicting that Ripple is going to become a bank, whether they IPO and become a bank or if they simply just apply for their licenses to become a bank. They want to be one of the big players. They want to compete with the JP Morgans, maybe not necessarily even compete with them, but just revolutionize the financial sector. David Schwartz is famous for talking about this with the utility of on-demand cross-border remittance systems and the power of having a in real-time instant settlement payment system that could potentially change SWIFT for the better in the future. It's the future of all of our financial systems. So what you're looking at here is a huge moment on July 2nd where Ripple finally applied for U.S. national bank charter as crypto eyes the next frontier. This was on July 2nd. Now, this is old news, okay? This is old news. However, you need that context because even though that was 20 days ago, here's what this means for Ripple as a company and what's about to happen. Ripple, the cryptocurrency and payment processing firm, has applied for a U.S. national bank charter with the Office of Comptroller of Currency, the OCC. The application is part of Ripple's strategy to gain greater regulatory clarity and integrate more deeply with the traditional financial system. If Ripple is approved, Ripple would be subject to both federal and state oversight, including the New York Department of Financial Services, which already regulates their RLUSD stablecoin, which is, again, the new stablecoin on top of Ripple. Now, the purpose of this, okay? Why would Ripple want this? Well, the application is a strategic move to enhance Ripple's compliance and potentially improve trust in its stablecoin. Stablecoins are the future. You guys know this with Paul Atkins. You guys know this with any single regulator, CFTC, SEC, etc. Tokenization is the future. These stablecoins are important because they're all going to be one-to-one backed by the US dollar. The one that can control the stablecoin is essentially the next generation, in my opinion, of Federal Reserves. Like any of these stablecoin issuers, especially if they have a large market share, are going to be as powerful as the Feds in a lot of different ways. There's going to be a lot of context there. So, Ripple clearly a front runner for this, and it's starting to shake up the entire banking industry. So Ripple's U.S. banking license decision set for November 29th. We're supposed to get this decision before the end of this year, okay? Before the end of this year. Now, you guys are going to see huge clickbait, titles, $155 trillion global payments market, $10,000 XRP, $100 XRP. It's switching. It's a flip of a switch. This is going to explode this. Holding 10 XRP is going to buy you a mansion, right? You see all this from those crazy, I call them far-right YouTubers. But there is some truth to this, right? Ripple, the blockchain company behind the digital asset XRP, is nearing a landmark moment in its pursuit to reshape the global financial system on July 2nd, 2025. That was when they applied. Again, the OCC typically renders decisions within a 120-day window, placing the expected approval or denial date at November 29th, 2025. So I have to ask you guys, okay, do you think Ripple becoming a bank is good or bad for the market? Do you believe Ripple becoming a bank is good or bad for big banks? Because big banks are going to be the ones that are scared of XRP. And I'm going to explain why in just a moment, because there was breaking news earlier today, where this is announced from 5 big banking firms. 5, all right? U.S. banking groups urge the OCC to delay Ripple, Circle, and other crypto firms' banking license. Now, Circle, I don't think ever had a chance to get this banking license just yet. The reason why, and you got to give credit where it's due. You got to give credit where it's due. Ripple already is a part of major compliance committees across the globe. Whether it's a part of the ISO directory, whether it's part of the American Bankers Association, they're pretty tapped in. Like, you have to give credit to Brad Garlinghouse. They are tapped into TradFi. So Ripple is a member of the ABA, Circle is not, and this means that only one crypto company can be considered a bank. So to me, it's not necessarily fair, but it is taking place that Ripple's being grouped in with other platforms that aren't as regulated. And to me, this just seems like banks are attacking Ripple again. Banks are just attacking XRP again. We have Pepe in chat saying, Austin, XRP has no utility. That couldn't be farther from the truth. XRP is one of the most utilized cryptocurrencies actually out there, doing $2 billion in transaction volume with like cross-border remittances. And I'm probably even off on that now today at where they're at, because that was from like 4 years ago. XRPL, the XRPL does have utilization. There is a utility to it for cross-border remittance systems. You also have the RLUSD. They have now EVM smart contract capabilities. So there's going to be borrowing and lending protocols, but there's a lot of tokenization aspects to the XRPL. So I wouldn't say there is no utility to XRP. Like, XRP is one of the most utility-based blockchains that exist right now on the current market. That's coming from somebody that literally sold his XRP too early, was like getting out at $1.20, was like, dude, this is never going to go past this ever again. So, you know, I trust me, I've gone through I started off as an XRP maxi, got corrected by Bitcoin, you know, maxis, and then went back to no XRP bad, because I thought Kamala Harris was going to win and Gary Gensler was going to ruin it. They ended up flipping the script, and we've been in through the roller coaster wave. But the one thing I can tell you, XRP's always had utility. U.S. banking groups urge OCC. So here's what happened. In a joint letter, look how crazy this is, chat. Can we get some L's out there for big banks? I think this deserves some L's. Again, make sure you guys hit that like button here if you're appreciating this content in the afternoon. We're giving you guys more content than ever, by the way, on Discover Crypto now. You guys are getting literally news all day long. But a 7-page, bro, a 7-pager here. Now, they probably just used ChatGPT to just write this up in 5 minutes, but 5 different banks, okay, came out together and issued this joint letter to the OCC on Thursday. And technically, this is Wednesday, or was this last Thursday? Because I think maybe this article's in the future. Oh, I guess this was on July 17th. So we're now just hearing out the reports here because the letter was issued, and this is the first article I've seen about this. But the U.S. banking networks urged the OCC to postpone its decision on crypto companies' bank licenses. The U.S. agencies argued, they're arguing that the applications from Circle, Fidelity, and Ripple Labs did not provide enough information to assess their business model and operations. This lack of transparency could lead to a shift in regulatory norms, impacting the digital financial space in the country. The groups argued there are significant policy and legal questions as to whether the applicants' proposed business plans involve the type of fiduciary activities performed by national trust banks. U.S. banks warn lack of transparency could pose a material risk. The groups reiterated that the applications do not allow for public scrutiny. So if the OCC changes its policy, the public will not be able to examine its procedure, leaving a trust issue, which is interesting. We went from a trustless system back to a trusted system. Very interesting is how crypto is working. It's kind of working backwards now. U.S. anticipates more crypto firms to seek banking license. Experts claim that the passing of the Genius Act will push more crypto firms to apply for chartered banking licenses as the U.S. establishes a clear regulatory framework for the issuance of a payment stablecoin. Going right back to what I was telling you guys about earlier in the stream, is the first mover advantage, okay, chat? The first movers that are able to obtain this licensing, they're going to essentially be the next generation of Federal Reserves. They're going to be able to issue and back their stable coins one-to-one by the US dollar, earn massive value off transaction fees, basis, even though it's just basis points. If they're doing billions of billions of billions of billions, hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars in volume, they are going to print cash. They are quite literally going to print. This is going to create the next generation of like hedge funds, right? The millenniums, the BlackRocks, the asset managers, right? There's going to be a new genre of these type of firms that are payment stablecoin issuers, whether that's Ripple, whether that's Circle. I think those are going to be all of the above. I think there's going to be 10 of them, but this is kind of the new cabal, right? We went full circle. We went from so much centralization, we built decentralization, which came back to centralization, which going back to decentralization, which will end up in, of course, centralization, because it's just a capital market. That's how we work. It's a global capitalist market. So very interesting to see, say the least there. Moving on here, though, you have some big news with the XRP, how it's going to be custodied. So what I want to explain here is, look, I think XRP is going to be just fine. Ripple itself has been crushing it. XRP is at all-time highs. Would I buy into XRP right now? Hell no. I would not buy into XRP right now. I personally, though, and maybe you guys agree with me, I honestly wouldn't be buying into any crypto really right now. Like, if you're coming into the crypto market right now, you missed out on the entire move. I'm not saying you can't DCA in, but bro, our risk, dude, we have no risk in this market. We're up so much money because we bought under 80K. We bought under 60K. Like most people, and type 1 in chat if you agree with me, type 2 if you don't, right? Type 1 if you believe, yes, it's not, and again, I'm not saying it's too late to buy. I'm just saying, if you're like looking at the market here, right? If you're looking at the market on a daily time frame, it's obvious now's not the time to DCA. right? The time to DCA, I'm just being real with you guys, was that 70K? Was that 30K? Was that 50K? Was that 60K? There was so many opportunities. So when people come into my chat, I'm tired of having to fake it and be like, I'm just a bull all the time. It's like, I'm very bullish on this market, but I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm just being real. If someone comes into my chat right now and goes, Josh, should I buy or sell crypto, or should I buy crypto right now? I'm going to say you should have bought fucking 4 months ago, 12 months ago, 18 months ago, 40. Why? Because I've been here every single day with most of you in this chat saying the same thing. So type 1 in chat if you understand what I mean by that. Is it a good time to buy? No. 2, if you believe yes. Because I do think you can DCA, but if I'm looking at metrics, dude, like I'm trading, we're doing the $1,000 and $10,000 challenge. We look at historical data, and the historical data would say, look, yeah, there's still an opportunity to get an upside, right? There might be another wick up. We might go to 130, 35K. But in the reality, if you're taking an asymmetrical strategy, which means you're being risk adverse, you're looking at this market and going, man, should I buy today? I want to buy when the MACD is oversold. I want to buy when the price is pulled back. I want to buy when the RSI, the MACD, the stochastic are all starting to turn back over, but overextended to the downside. I want to buy when everybody's screaming we're going to go into a Great Depression. I want to buy when, everybody's screaming we're going to go into World War III. I want to buy when, China's banning half their miners, right? I don't want to buy when I'm getting texts from family members and friends asking me about crypto because their friends are putting them onto a new cryptocurrency, right? I'm not going to say again, it's so, I think we need to remove the toxicity of this industry of having to be a fucking bull or a bear. Anybody that's in crypto truly believes Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million one day. And if you're not, dude, you're just wrong. You've been wrong year after year for 15 years, right? You were wrong saying it wasn't going to go past 3K. You're wrong saying it wasn't going to go past 10K. You're wrong saying it wasn't going to go past 20K. You're wrong saying it wasn't going to be adopted. You're wrong saying it wasn't going to be used as a payment processor. You're wrong saying it wasn't going to be a store of value. You're wrong saying it was bad for the energy in the world and our geothermal energy. You've been wrong about everything, okay? So if that's the case, we need to remove this stupid bull bear mindset out of that. We need to stack as many sats as possible. And if I'm going based off that thesis, I want to stack the most sats when the price is down. It is so simple to make money in crypto. You buy low and you sell high. You buy low and you sell high. If I were to buy, if that is the fundamental basic strategy in crypto, buy low and sell high. Let me ask you this right now, right? We're going to ask chat right now together. If I were to buy crypto today, am I buying low or am I buying high? If I were to buy crypto today on Bitcoin, even on Ethereum on the 2-year time frame, XRP, Solana, right? If I were to buy right now, am I buying low or am I buying high? Am I buying low or am I buying high? Right? I want to see this chat. No, are we buying low or are we buying high right now? Someone's going, stop being silly. I have to be silly. We have to be silly because retail is silly. Retail should be wearing helmets, bro. They should not be allowed outside without a helmet. Their heads are that soft, bro. Right? Everyone's saying hi. Because the beautiful part crypto, guys, it's 24/7, 365. There's always going to be a better time. And again, we are here every single day. Everybody in Discover Crypto's community right now, you guys are smarter than 99% of the world when it comes to crypto. You guys are here educating yourself. So, of course, can we try to make altcoin calls? Can we try to catch really cool pumps and make money on an intraday basis? Of course. But if we're looking at a broad time frame, I'm just talking about a daily time frame on a multi-month basis or a multi-year basis, we are definitely buying high right now. You know when we were buying low? We were buying low when we were screaming under 80K. We were buying low when we were screaming under $60,000. This is the fourth, $1,000 to $10,000 challenge, which we're running into some issues right now. It's been a hard time to trade these last 2 weeks because of the volatility. We're in price discovery. But this is the fourth time. So if we're going off historical data, I just want to put that out there, right? Again, if someone tells me, Josh, should I buy today? Bro, I'm laughing. I'm like, we're up 3, 4, 5x. Dude, Ondo's back up to $1.05. Our average is 50. We told you, buy. XRP, I totally fucked up on. I'll live by that, dude. I apologize, and I'm back, and they adopted me. We're going to, there's no reason to talk shit, but to be like, yeah, buy into this right now because it's going to go to $10, it's possible. It's possible. Let's get a little XRP price prediction here, right? Let's get a little XRP price prediction. Let's just pull our Fibonacci extension here, right? Because I got to stop saying right. I keep saying it so much. My point is, can it go to $4.50? Yes. Is it more likely to pull back and consolidate? In my opinion, yes. So would I buy now at all-time highs, or would I wait for the next consolidation period? Personally, I would wait for that next consolidation period. But we have an $18 or $184 super chat here. Bro, any alpha on Floki? It's showing so much strength. Let's go ahead and head to the Floki chart here. I'm going to pull up Floki, but we're going to finish the XRP conversation here before we get to altcoin market updates in here. Floki is pumping pretty hard. But there you go. So let me scroll down. Josh crushed some caffeine. I'm just pumped up, man. I'm pumped up. I'm seriously so pumped up for these markets. These markets are bullish. We're making more money than ever. But I'm here to just give you guys the truth and be realistic. I've been here every single day. This is the beauty of my resume. You want to look at my resume? I've been here every single day from 2019 to today. Haven't missed a beat. Minus TikTok because we got banned for 6 months. But when we were at 15K and nobody was buying, and at 30K and nobody was buying, and at 60K and nobody was buying, and at 100K and nobody was buying, we are at all-time highs. And so, you know, if somebody has a problem with me saying, I don't think now's the best time, when someone goes, Josh, should I buy? Now is 100% not the best time to buy. It's 100%. We're at all-time highs. The best time to buy was months ago. So can you dollar cost average in? Yes. Can we make more money this bull cycle? 100%. But if we're looking at a risk-adverse strategy, we want to wait for that DCA point. Right, man. I had an ex-girlfriend. It's my Californian in me who used to say that. I finally blew up. Yeah, I say dude and right too much. It's just embedded into my DNA at this point. It just happens if you grow up in SoCal, California. Now, not the time to buy. See, you know, and some people will disagree. Some people will agree. You guys can let me know what you're doing in the chat below here. But that's the XRP news, guys. Is the breaking news is that big banks want your XRP gone. Big banks want to hold back Ripple. And in my opinion, it's just simply because Ripple is so ahead of the curve. Same thing like Stellar Lumens, XDC. There's a lot of RWA platforms. You guys can see them here. Ondo, Chainlink, Securitize, Wisdom Tree. All these platforms are ahead of all the banks that are mad at them. And I simply think it's because they're late to the party and they're doing everything they can to scramble and try to launch these products themselves so they don't get left behind. And that's why the title of today's stream was breaking news, XRP is being attacked, or whatever we put in the title there for you, because XRP is once again still being attacked. But if we know anything about XRP, it's going to survive, it's going to prevail, and it's going to continue on higher there. Now, the interesting part here to XRP, though, I did want to announce this, guys. Ripple here is using BNY Mellon. So BNY Mellon will not have custody of XRP, but instead, BNY Mellon will be the primary custodian of Ripple's new stablecoin, RLUSD. So if you want to make money this next cycle, I truly believe stablecoin and real world assets are going to be where you want to really focus in on. And it's going to be specifically US treasuries and stablecoins, because all of this is going to be one-to-one backed by the US dollar, which means treasuries are going to expand while stablecoins expand. So these are two of my favorite sectors to look at, see the products that are really popping off. You, of course, have Paxos, you have Sky, you have Athena, you have Binance. A lot of big plays here. Some of the smaller ones are going to be, if you look at US treasuries, Stellar Lumens is literally number 2 with 438 million. Some pretty big development there. But BNY Mellon is kind of the company you want to watch. Largest asset management company in the world. Or sorry, custodian bank of the world. I think they have like $50 trillion in assets or something stupid. It's like absolutely ridiculous. But in case you guys missed it, Ondo Finance is bringing tokenized treasuries to the XRPL with seamless mint redeem via Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin. And again, BNY Mellon, if you guys missed it, was at Ondo Finance's summit talking about the strategic partnership and tokenization, saying it shouldn't fit the model that we have today because a wallet should hold many, many things. That will break the model we have today, where we have agencies that are split a little bit more by asset class. We should have kind of a use case driven regulatory regime. I can't speak today, that sits and manages is focused on that wallet. So they're going to probably be building their own L1, their own wallets, their own integrations. But again, this was at the Ondo Summit, and there's a lot of synergies between a lot of these platforms. So stay tuned, rwa.xyz. You can follow and track all of these metrics for you guys to see which are the best products, which ones are popping off. But that is my XRP update for you guys here. Plume is number 2 under ETH for actual RWA holders. Yeah, but different type of real-world assets, right, veteran? But you're 100% correct. Plume is another big platform that's absolutely crushing it. but I don't think they're U.S. Treasuries, if I'm not mistaken, yet. Mara had a nice 5.57% pump today. Let's go, Mara blockchain. Chainlink will be great. Give it some time. Yeah, Chainlink's one of the best calls on this channel. We've been calling Chainlink since, dude, we were so heavy down here at 1150. Like, just buy. We drew all this out. Like, we've predicted all these moves. So this is why I went on that rant again. When people are like, Josh, should I buy now? It's like, man, dude, chat. Some of you in this chat, I see all of you guys in here all the time. You guys were here with me. We were all screaming, buy. How many of you are buying under 80K? Type 1 in chat right now if you're buying under 80K Bitcoin. I want to know how many people in this chat right now bought under 80K Bitcoin, a few of these different cryptos. Because if you bought under 80K Bitcoin, you bought under $13 Chainlink, right? Actually, bought under probably $12 Chainlink. You bought really good price entry points. And so I know you agree with me. I know you agree with me when someone asks me, Josh, is a good time to buy? And I say no. I'm going to say, because that's, to me, we've already passed the best possible times. Now, can you still make money? It's a different question, right? Is this the top of the market? Is a different question than is it a good time to buy? It's a completely different market structure. It's a completely different question because we could be halfway through this market. We could be 33% of the way into this market. I can't predict the upside probability of that. But what I do know is we're 100% from the bottom. We're up 2x for the bottom, we're up 3x from the bottom, we're up 10x for the bottom on some of these altcoins. So I know we're already in that move, right? A lot of ones coming in the chat right now. Shout out to Martin for buying under 80K. Sadia, shout out to you. Eugen Sky, shout out to you for buying under 80K. Victor buying under 80K. Aerodrome, dude, Aerodrome was a perfect call. We bought the exact bottom of Aerodrome at 33 cents live on Discover Crypto. I did it live and showed you guys the exact bottom of that. You guys are perfect. I have it 66. Shout out to Southern here. Karen, what's up, Karen? How you doing? Under 80K. Aerodrome under 30 cents. Hydro, oh my goodness. Yeah, so we're just straight up, dude, everybody in the chat, XRP, dude, all of you guys, congratulations, pat yourself on the back. You beat all the FUD. XRP, any XRP holders in the chat, you guys survived all the FUD. Dude, I've been in crypto for 8 years. I fell for the XRP FUD. So it's like, now that all of that is gone, whew, bro, I think there's going to be some entry points some of you guys are in. We'll never see those price points ever again in these markets, especially for Bitcoin. Sub 11 Chainlink in April. Beautiful, Jeff. Beautiful. Like, you guys are just crushing it. Almost drew 2 balls right there, which is kind of funny. Let me get rid of those. There we go. Boom. All right, so let's pull up Floki here because we have the super chat. They want me to talk about Floki. Is Floki actually, the exact super chat was, I'm wondering if it's due to their exchange traded product. Yeah, they definitely are pumping because of that, man. There's definitely going to be news related content behind it. But really, every altcoin, Alpha Cry, it's not because of just the exchange traded product. Of course, hype's going to be really good for the market. Well, you'll notice this, right? Altcoins are just trending right now. It broke out of the downtrend, had a pump, right? So just like Chainlink, broke out of the downtrend, had a pump. Just like Cardano, broke out of the downtrend, had a pump. So really, it's just following liquidity at that point, Alpha Cry. So if you think, if you're looking at Floki as, oh man, it's only moved for these reasons, it's going to move with the altcoin market. So let's go to what I should show you here is ETH to BTC, right? We should be looking at the ETH to BTC chart. This is a great way to kind of figure out, are we in an altcoin market? And I'll show you Bitcoin dominance as well in just a second. So we drew out this line a long time ago, not a long time ago, but we've called this break a structure here quite a bit ago. And what we were looking for is we were going to come up to this range and get rejected. That's exactly what we're seeing. We're going to see resistance at the 0.031. 0.0315, we're expecting a bit of resistance. That's exactly what we're seeing now. Now, personally, I would like to see something like this created, like a bit of a cup and handle, and then shoot back up to this high, maybe break down before we continue higher, which we're talking a year time frame. But this is good news, right? We are getting nice upside in altcoins. You can see this on the Bitcoin dominance chart. So the Bitcoin dominance chart, we did get the wick here, but we are due, in my opinion, for a bounce, unless it just keeps dropping through the face of the earth. That's also possible. But on the daily, we called this yesterday for you guys in the chat. I know you guys on Discord watching me cover this. We were expecting the Bitcoin dominance to drop, down to this range and then bounce. Whether it bounces back to the top of this or not, I would like to see a bounce and then it officially break, right? I would want it to see it officially break. So if we do get a bounce, what this generally means is you're going to see a cool off, okay? So this would mean Bitcoin could either, altcoins could dump a little bit while Bitcoin pumps, or it could mean Bitcoin pumps to 126K. Altcoins don't really move. What I am looking for is for Bitcoin dominance to no longer be overexhausted, because right now, after this huge liquidity move, we are expecting a little bit of a cool off phase right now in altcoins. So this is going to be probably a good time to start dollar cost averaging into some alts if you're trying to make money off this next market cycle move. And why am I going to talk about this now? Well, the reason why I'm going to talk about dollar cost averaging, even though you're still in an uptrend, again, different question than should you buy. Like, it's a different question than saying, should I buy and like go all in right now? And I'm going to dollar cost average and try to make money. Because what I got to point out here is back in 2021, let me know how many people, yes or no, were you here in 2021 cycle? Yes or no? I want to see how many people were here in 2021 cycle. If you were here in 2021 cycle, the reason why I'm about to talk about this is because in this bull run, you had multiple pullbacks. Okay, so technically the bull run started in 2020. This is the COVID-19 dip, right? COVID-19 dip. You had a giant push up, right? Then a little bit of consolidation, huge breakout. But as we entered this bull run, look at this. From 12,000 all the way down to 9K, you had a 20% pullback. 20% pullback. So right here, Bitcoin dominance would have been exhausted. So this would have been a good time to DCA, right? DCA into some of your altcoins. You had a 20% pullback. Altcoins drop 40%. You're going to catch a nice rally, right? Bitcoin pumps. Bitcoin pumps. Bitcoin goes absolutely insane. Pumps all the way to $19,000. Hits $19,000. Check this out. Drops 16%. 16%, right? I got to stop. I keep saying it. But 16%. Another good point to dollar cost average. Absolutely pumps. Goes all the way to 42K. Elon Musk is tweeting about Bitcoin. Tesla is buying Bitcoin, adding it to its balance sheet. Dogecoin's going to the moon. We're going viral. Boom. 42K. All the way back down to $28,000. 30% pullback. 30% pullback. Are we in a bear market at this point yet, chat? Are we entering? Is the bull market over? Are we collapsing? Do you sell now and walk away? No. Bitcoin had a 30% pullback. Now the second one, this bull run, has a 30% pullback. And guess what? Goes and makes new all-time highs. So while everybody was coming in at 42K, I remember this. It's just the same thing every single cycle. They're asking me, Josh, should I buy? 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 Should I buy at 42K? All at the top. In these 3 days, we crashed 30%. No longer asking, Josh, should I buy? Like, gosh, Josh, should I sell? 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 And they have this roller coaster of emotions. And that's what we call a chart. The other name for a chart here is a roller coaster of emotions. Okay? Roller coaster of emotions before it gets that final drop every single cycle. So my point to this is, look how many times there was 30% drops in 2021. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's 5 at the bottom like I showed you. This last drop ended up being the true benefactor of that bear market. Okay? You ended up going down to $28,000. I consider this bear market phase, even though Bitcoin does go back up to all-time highs here. The reason why I consider this bear market phase is by this point, even though you had Bitcoin push back to new all-time highs, we made money off this trade. Most of your altcoins didn't recover, and altcoins were in a bear market pretty much since the first time Bitcoin turned off. Either way, though, you can even consider this. There was a 50% pullback. Look at this. For Bitcoin, there was a 55% pullback. There was a 55% pullback, and it still made new all-time highs. So Bitcoin, by definition, was in a short-term bear market, but ended up creating a new all-time high before going into that multi-year trend. So this is my point when we zoom out now. Okay? This is my point. There was 5 in this bull market, if not more. You've had 1 here. That was 33%. You had 1 here. This was 28%. You had 1 short little one here at 111K, 10%. It's getting smaller. Now, I don't like this. What I would definitely like to see is us really push up and then do this. The longer you consolidate, the better for the move. The less you consolidate, the weaker the next projection higher. However, we are in a bull run. I am expecting more upside, and I do believe, we're going to have a great opportunity to buy and accumulate more crypto. To the point of saying, is it a good time to buy? I want to wait for a pullback. Boom. There's my case. That's beautiful. Favorite projects out there on the market. Jason Casper's Chicken. What's up, brother? How you doing today? Half of the market. What do you think of Ondo? Ondo is by far one of the best plays there. Am I still live? Chat, give me one. Give me ones in the chat to let me know if the internet connection's good. I just got a notification, so I want to make sure we're still good. Hit one in chat. I don't think the comment section's loading now. It did? Oh no, all the ones. Okay, this is weird. So Twitter comments are lagging. They're stuck on my screen, and then the ones are rendering above it. Yeah, it's got to be the piece. Boom. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. Yeah, it's just the stream mechanism on the back end's a little broken, a little fried after that, but it's all good. It's all good. Okay, so we already talked about Ondo, AVAX, and Chainlink. What do you think? I think Chainlink's one of the most underrated platforms in the entire market. Chainlink's probably one of the most utilized cryptocurrencies out there with the best use case. I think Chainlink's going to hit all-time highs this cycle. I'm pretty confident that's going to happen. Chainlink's one of my largest bags, though, so just remember that. I'm biased, man. I'm biased. Tag me on X. Let me check out what Veteran Crypto had to say here. Bloom tokenized treasuries here. They are at 25 million. A juicy 25 million. So they are getting started, man. Interesting that they're working with Centrifuge. The Centrifuge is going to be one of the larger players as well. You can see that right here. Centrifuge is number 6 right now in terms of tokenized treasury. So I'd be interested to see what the crossover is with that as well. But TVL is pretty strong, man. They're growing, brother. Their portal's so clean. I can't wait to meet them in person in 2 weeks here. I got to message them again. Link is going to rip this cycle for sure. What are your guys' favorite altcoins? What do you guys, let me know what your biggest altcoin bags are. Don't say Bitcoin or ETH. I just want to know altcoins right now that are, mine is Bitcoin and ETH. I want to know what everybody's biggest are. We have Shake in here. He says, my top 5 are XRP, Bitcoin, ETH, Cardano, and Link. Dude, I'm pretty much the same. I minus the XRP action there. Pengu. Dude, Tito says Pengu. Wow. Doge. Drop. What's drop? Hold up. I'm gonna stop right here for a second. Drop. Is drop a token? Or did he mean something else? Drop. This is his largest altcoin. No, that he must be saying something else because there's no way that's a real token. XRP, lots of XRPs coming in. HBAR, Allen, I am one of the oldest HBAR holders, baby. Been holding my HBAR for 4.5 years, man. 4.5 years. HBAR has been absolutely crushing it. You know, I would love to see it back at all-time highs, though. You know, we got some ways to go. I thought, wait, is this all-time highs? Is HBAR at all-time highs? I thought it went to 50 cents. I thought it went to 50, 70 cents. It did. I knew I was being joked. So sorry, 42 cents. This went to, no, this doesn't even go back far enough. HBAR. USDT Binance. There it is. Boom, right there. 57 cents. 57 cents was the top. HBAR. Ondo is ripping. Is Ondo ripping right now? What's Ondo doing? Dude, let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Ondo's about to rip. I'm not even going to lie, chat. I'm not even going to lie. I think that Ondo's got some massive potential here. It's trying to break out of this double bottom right now. So if we break through this at about $1.10, if we get confirmation above that, I think there's going to be massive upside for Ondo. It does need a cool off, though. Look at that daily extension. It is overextended massively. But let me pull out the fibs. Pull out the fibs here. All right, let's get the nice little fib extension here. And just, you can see right here, we're actually just dealing with that last resistance. But then your next resistance is $1.19. Past that, $1.40. $1.40, really, though. If you break through this, this is the upside of this market. You know, I think is about $3.10. I do believe we might have a blow off top, though. That could be insane. Go towards $4.60. Reason being is Ondo is it's a small market cap. It's nothing crazy. So I think this would be, let's do market cap comparison, right? Let's look at this for, I love this one right here. Let's put Ondo here at, and let me know if you guys want me to do this for any other cryptos, but we're going to put Ondo in comparison to like Link, which is not that big of a market cap. That would put Ondo, if it had the same market cap as Chainlink here. I don't know why this isn't loading. Ondo. Chainlink. There we go. Boom. So if Ondo were to simply hit the same market cap of Chainlink, it would be roughly $4.15. And that's still that's a 4x from here. And that is only a $14 billion market cap. So if Ondo were to hit, let's say Ondo, which I think is a top project, by the way, I'm not even going to lie. Let's say Ondo hits the same thing as a Hyperliquid. That's a 4.44x. Okay. So these are smaller market caps. These are $10 billion. This is nothing crazy. This is not crazy at all. Not crazy at all to see this. AED, $3.69 per chat. Thank you, Jazz, so much. Much love. Doge is my biggest low cap bag. What the heck? Bro's all in on a meme coin. With only 10K pumped Bitcoin, no leverage, no Discord, no, wait. With only 10K pumped Bitcoin, no leverage, no Discord, no BS. I don't know what you mean that. Do black hole compared to arrow. Black hole. Big black hole compared to small juicy arrow. Pause. That would be a 6.57x. 6.57x. Someone says Ondo to a $20 billion market cap. If Ondo were to hit a $20 billion market cap, which would put us at something like a Cardano, right? Let's go to Cardano. I think Cardano is 20 billion. Let me see. Go coin market cap. These are comparing like not even top projects here. So 20 billion. Okay, so Tron is top 10. There's not even, so Hyperliquid's the 11th biggest one. So let's say it reaches the same market cap as Tron. That would put it at $9.39. I think we're really stretching for that level of, that would be stretching. That'd be crazy. I mean, I'm obviously not gonna be mad, but holy smokes. I have so much money in that. I'd be happy. I'm buying my Porsche with that. ICP was 400. Yeah, ICP will never go to $400 again, unfortunately, Max PP. And that's simply because ICP was only $400 because it was manipulated, and there was a lot of corruption due to Alameda research with FTX in the early beginnings of the launch. What do you think about near at Arrow at all-time high? Black would be $16.90 or 12.5x. Wow. I'm selling XRP under $5. I don't think it's the worst play, to be honest. I think XRP is like, I mean, you can keep moving it, but dude, people that are XRP made so much money, they're pretty much in profits, dude. Maybe it goes to $7-8 a cycle. I would like to see 420 next. XRP coming in with a $28 super chat. Dude, XRP, much love, man. Appreciate you, dog. Listen and learn, people. Nothing G but gold on this channel. Nothing G but gold on this channel. I came in very top of last bull run listening. Watch the channel. My Bitcoin's up 111%. My XRP's up 400%. ETH is up 65%. HBAR up 200%. Air up 125%. ZBN up 278%. And XLM up 420%. So, okay. Can we get some W's in the chat for XRP here? He is one of the people that did not fall for any FUD no matter what. So I want W's in the chat for all the XRP holders. They give him it. Give it. Even if you don't like it, yeah, say it. Give it. W's in the chat for the XRP holders. But what I want to point out here is how much XRP is up. Because just like XRP, a lot of us are up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7x on some of these altcoins. And that goes back to my point of saying, I'm always going to be real with you guys on this channel. Whether I'm wrong or right, that's for up the audience to make, that decision on. But what I know is like true to myself is like when somebody asks me, because we have thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of views. We do 10 million views a month. And so when people are coming up to me and they're asking, Josh, should I buy right now? And I'm up this amount of percentage or chat's up this amount of percentage. That's where I have to step back and go, look, is it the best time to buy now? No. Can you buy and still make money? Yes. And that is why we're separating those two questions there. But shout out to XRP there, man. You're crushing it, brother. Keep killing it in crypto. That is some life-changing stuff right there, man. Some life-changing stuff right there. Low up 500%. Token OS up 106%. I don't know what that is. Turbo AI is where it's at. Turbo is pretty cool. Turbo AI, I think, is the one that was launched by ChatGPT, if I'm not mistaken. W, because I told my mom to hold that one just in case I will inherit. Soul holders hate these coins, XRP, ADA, and XLM. Yeah, that's just the toxicity. But I think that that's what we need as a entire industry to move forward on, is we need to just get rid of decentralization's a myth. I know you guys have heard me say this for a year. I say decentralization's a masquerade, right? On the outside, it looks like a really fun party. But once you're on the inside, you realize behind every mask is just another face. And so in that concept, in that metaphor, what I mean is you can't have true decentralization on a global scale when you live in a capitalistic society. And the reason is simple. With more money comes more power, which comes more responsibility. You are never going to have a complete decentralized ecosystem in a world that operates based off borrowing and lending. It just will never work in any societal level, and it's never worked throughout history. And that's why communism and all these crazy socialist perspectives will never work. Because for every output, you have to have an input. For every input, you have to have an output. And if you're going to trade and barter trade on a global circuit, on a global scale for global trade, there's always going to be a buyer and a seller. There's always going to be a value exchange. And so, in this world of crypto, it's why I don't like when people compare XRP to Bitcoin or Ethereum to Bitcoin, or it's why I trashed on dog shit Hex for so long, right? It's like these are people that would attack Bitcoin, which fundamentally is one of the greatest innovations and most historical technological breakthroughs we will ever fucking see in our lives. And somehow people are trying to compare themselves to that. You will never be that. You're not meant to be that. The store of value, the energy consumption. I teach this so often on my channel because people often go, XRP is better than Bitcoin. It's not. It's different than Bitcoin. Ethereum better than Bitcoin. No, it's not. It's different than Bitcoin, right? It's comparing apples to oranges. Bitcoin's meant and purpose is to be a store of value. Satoshi Nakamoto said this in early emails on threads in 2010, before any of these cryptos even existed. He came out and said that the cost of value of production, or the marginal cost of production, will always far exceed the value of the utility of Bitcoin itself. Meaning that because of the thermodynamic energy, because of this energy consumption people were worried on, was never going to matter because the utility of Bitcoin itself would always exceed the value of that marginal cost. And that is one of the most important phrases I have ever seen in email threads I have ever seen, because that is what put me on the Bitcoin mining. That's what made me understand and start traveling around the world to different countries to see these mining locations at natural gas facilities, landfills, power grids, etc., and see them in real time stabilize and utilize and convert negative wasted energy into a net value. That is Bitcoin. That is the store of value. That is digital gold. XRP, Cardano, Solana, Ethereum, etc., completely separate. They're trying to scale transaction volume and cross-border systems and payments and things in a way that Bitcoin can't. But Bitcoin doesn't need to. And once people realize that, I think this space is going to be better off as a whole, because XRP should be working with Chainlink. Chainlink should be working with Polkadot. Polkadot should be working with Ethereum. They shouldn't separate and try to leave into all these foundations to simply waste all these marketing dollars and buy and build things that are simply going to have to come back together in the future anyways. Interoperability is the future. Nothing else matters, man. Preach, dude. Let's go, baby. I know I went on a little rant there. You're definitely good. You're doing good research. I'm coming around. I was a little angry when you first talked about XRP. Yeah, and it just, we gotta move on and learn, brother. I was definitely wrong about it. I even shorted. I mean, I took a lot of dude, I went and bought an AR. I literally went and bought, right? I thought Kamala Harris actually had a chance at winning that election. And I wish I didn't believe the mainstream media did so well, dude. So, I mean, look, let me know right now in chat if you say yes or no. Did you see people telling you Trump was going to cause a recession? Did you see people telling you Trump was going to cause World War III? Did you see people telling you that you need to sell everything now because it's going to go lower? Like, we got to just be real with each other. We're all human. It's not easy to get through that. It was not easy getting through the FUD in March. It was not easy getting through the FUD in 2022. It was not easy getting through the FUD in 23, 21, 19, etc. And, we're just going to make mistakes, but we're just human. At a point, you can only take so much FUD before everybody's feeding this false narrative, and it's a vacuum, I think would be the right term. Like, the mainstream media is a vacuum. So it's why you got to be careful with all this stuff, right? It's good to cover it. It's good. Like, I have this reaction video here because people wanted me to react to this. The Nelk boys had Prime Minister Netanyahu on their podcast. And you guys know I'm involved in politics a lot. I've been helping with a lot of legislation, lobbying, etc. Hopefully we're going to be pushing. I got to get that for Samuel Arms. Holy shit, I got to get that bill for TikTok. I love the policy side. But a lot of it is just clickbait and view baiting. Like, you have Hassan and Destiny and all these people reacting to Nelk boys. You have Nick Fuentes coming on stream and saying it was a bad idea to have Benjamin Netanyahu on their interview as a podcast. Look, the Nelk boys didn't know any better. Was there propaganda on there? Of course, right? But would they have turned down an interview with the prime minister, and would they had had a better interview? Maybe. But at the end of the day, everybody's human and everybody's absorbing content in a different way. They have a different understanding of the world. And it's so aggravating to me when they force you to choose one right. It's like right or left, right? If you voted right, you're MAGA. If you vote left, you're a far left lunatic. And there's no in between. There's no moderation. There's no centrist perspective or point of view anymore that isn't, I would say, aggressively politicized. And so it's just a weird time to be in these markets, and that rolls over into markets. That rolls over into the stock market. People are betting off stocks based off political beliefs. It's actually intense. It's actually intense. Liberals cried the same exact stuff in his first term. They did. I do agree. I mean, we called all that bluff. That's why we were able to buy the bottom and the dips. Like we told you guys since day one, like Trump's going to be good for the markets, good for the markets. He did launch a meme. He did things I don't agree with. I don't think Trump should have launched a meme coin. But he already launched a meme coin. So you can cry about it, or you can realize what value it's going to have for the industry. The value of him launching a meme coin is deregulation. It means probably a lot of people are going to get away with launching meme coins and rugging, but at least it's deregulation. You know, there's no point in crying about a meme coin that, oh my God, he's corrupted. He launched it before Trump. It's like, dude, they've been suing him for 8 years. No one's ever won. They didn't put him in prison. Like, you lost. So move forward. It's time to simply move forward. Whether it's with XRP, whether it's with Cardano, whether it's with Bitcoin, we are winning as an industry, and we all should be just focusing on moving forward together. That's it. That's it, baby. That's it. No more X drama. I'm going to kill the... No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just starts drama, dude. Drop an XRPL meme. Dude, I had like one of the greatest memes, which was... this one was funny. I think I could probably scroll down and see this. Let me see. This one right here. I was like, me in 2030 when being gay becomes illegal and the government finds out I secretly hold XRP. So this went over so many people's heads. It was just a joke, chat. It was just a joke. We need to be able to joke, you know? We need to joke a little. That's all we got to do. But guys, that is what I got for you today. It was a phenomenal stream. If you haven't already hit that like button, come join our free Discord. If you haven't, okay, come use our free Discord. The Discord is free. We're doing the massive trading challenge right now. There was no trades today. We've been waiting for a trade. And honestly, the trading has just been all over the place. But if you're not in the Discord, come join the Discord. Okay, you can see all the Joshua Jake chats, all of our trades posted in here live every single day in the Discord for all of you guys. And if you haven't already, of course, check out FOMO. That is my platform out here that we're building. Clip farming is launching Friday. It is launching this Friday. So come join the Discord. Come start trading with us. Come use our tools. And yeah, that's what I got for you guys today. And by the way, the new news platform for FOMO launches Friday. Clip farming launches Friday. And I think new widgets are launching Friday. So it's going to be a big week for us here. And I'll be live trading in the Discord with all those tools for all of you guys. Much love, guys. Talk to you soon. Peace out. See you guys tomorrow.
We just wanted to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor, Arculus. They are a cold storage hardware wallet, helps you secure all of your digital assets for the future. Just tap this thing to the back of your phone and boom, you're in. We wouldn't be able to do this without them, but also wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, the Disco fam. You've supported us a lot over the years. If you want to support the channel now, just use the code DC20. It gets you 20% off this card. It's the #1 way you can support this channel going forward. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at the top.